I'm Jenna with Insight Wellness Works, and today I'm going to take you through a self-care foam rolling routine. You do need a 36-inch long foam roller. It can be 5 or 6 inches wide in diameter, and there is a link provided in the description for my recommendations for foam rollers. All right, let's get started. You're going to lie down on your back with your foam roller next to your mat. And if you need to bend your knees here to protect your low back, that is more than fine. All right, you might also find you need something underneath your head so that your neck is more comfortable. You're going to close your eyes and take a couple deep breaths. Each exhale, let your whole body melt into the floor a little bit more. And then I want you to do a couple of things to see how well your body is relaxed today. First thing, split your body down the middle, left half, right half, and notice if one side just feels like it is longer or heavier. And then another assessment you can do is noticing the upper part of your back, where the shoulder girdle and the rib cage live. And ideally, those two are working together to rest heavy. And ideally, the heaviest part of your back would be the middle of your back, right underneath the rib cage here. But if you are feeling more weight behind your chest or in your shoulder blades, that's another sign that our body is just not quite as relaxed as we can get right now. A third thing would be the lower back. Now, ideally, the lower back has a natural curvature to it that's light and low. And if we're feeling like this curvature is a big wailing arch like the Skyway Bridge rather than a Japanese footbridge, that would be a sign that our body is holding on to some stress right now. Another one with the low back is that curvature should start right at the navel and go to the pelvis. But oftentimes we feel more of a mid-back curve starting above the navel rather than a low back curve. So that is another sign that your body is just holding on to some stress right now. So let's see what we can do to help improve this. I'm going to have you gently bend your knees if you haven't already and drop them to one side of the mat, sitting yourself up. You're going to take your foam roller, bringing it onto your mat. Sit down on the very, very edge, all right? You're going to carefully lower yourself as gently as you can and scoot yourself once you're on the roller so that both your hips and your head can rest comfortably on the roller. One arm on each side and just gently begin to tip your body side to side. It's a very gentle tip here. You're allowing the whole body to move as one unit. Ear, shoulder, hip, and foot get heavy all at once. I come back to the center, briefly pausing before going to the other side, making the other side heavy. This is a very simple move we can overanalyzing by moving the foam roller and rolling with it. The roller actually stays still and you are the one moving. This is probably the healthiest move I know. It not only helps open up our chest as gravity is stretching the pecs here, but it allows for two of our core mechanisms to turn on to downregulate our nervous system, which means we might be in the fight or flight mode, but this helps us switch to rest and digest. This also helps with alignment and posture. So overall, this is just one of my favorite moves to do daily. After about 30 to 60 seconds, you're going to come to the top here, and let's do some focused breathing, all right? 3-dimensional breathing, taking one hand to the chest, one hand to the belly, breathing into both hands at the same time. These do not have to be the biggest breaths you've ever taken. Focus on the timing. Inhaling into both hands, and exhale, deflating your body under both hands. Inhaling, you want to feel the front side of your torso inflate. And exhale, deflate. 1 to 2 more here. Inhaling on the front side of your body. Exhale, deflating. Taking your hands to the outside of your ribs now. We're going to do some lateral breathing where we breathe wide into our ribs. So as you inhale, the rib cage widens. The ribs form an arch around your abdominal wall, and that arch widens with the inhale. On the exhale, that arch narrows. Inhaling east and west in the body. Exhale, narrowing. 1 to 2 more here. Noticing the timing of the ribs as they expand out wide. And moving on. So we breathe into the front side of our body, the sides. Now we're going to do end to end. Pelvic girdle and shoulder girdle. And when we inhale, we want these two girdles to reach away from each other, lengthening the spine. Exhale, relaxing your spine into its natural position. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, relaxing. 1 to 2 more here. Now I'm going to bring my hands to the center of my torso, and when I inhale, I'm practicing all of those breaths simultaneously. So my torso has become this balloon where every side inflates and deflates at the same time. Here we go. Inhaling and exhaling. Trying to slow down the breath, taking longer inhales and longer exhales. Getting every last bit of that exhale out. One more. And then from here, we're going to drop the hands down to the floor. And I want gravity to take over your upper body and it just melts into the earth. We're going to guide the arms out, doing some floor angels. Now your hands do not have to stay on the ground. You actually are okay lifting them up because you're avoiding forcing a stretch into the body. Instead, you're relaxing and letting gravity be what stretches you. Gravity is far better at stretching us than we are ourselves, to be honest. Hands come over your head, thumbs touch our cross, and coming back and out and down. We'll do 2 more. And if you've got cracking, clicking, popping, snapping, thudding, thunking, try to avoid going through that and instead try to find ways around. So you see how I'm actually lifting up my arms and tracing anywhere I might get cracking or clicking. All right, if you continue to just go through the movement and allow that to happen, then you are going to find that the brain has no reason to correct that as it's not hindering your movements. From here, go into single arm snow angels. I'm going to start with the right side, so that's a little bit tighter today. Usually when we do one arm, that is going to allow us a little bit more range of motion naturally. And I'm going to leave my right arm out to the side, kind of level with my shoulder resting on the ground. I'm going to tip my roller slightly to the left and turn my head to the left as I reach my right arm a little bit further out on the floor, enhancing the stretch across the front of my arm line. 3 breaths. Full body breathing, inflating and deflating your torso. Then you'll come back to the center. Right arm comes in and left arm's coming out to the side for snow angels or floor angels here. This time I'm going to leave my arm out to the side, palm up, back of the hand resting heavy. I'm going to tilt my roller to the right and turn my head to the right. And I'm feeling a stretch basically from my elbow all the way to where my arm attaches into my torso, my chest. 3 breaths here. Then I'm going to come back to the center, taking this left arm in. I'm going to scooch my feet together and let the knees come out wide here in a bit of a butterfly position, opening up the inner thighs and adding a little gentle tipping to this. That first movement we did, this is going to allow the hips to open up some more. I'm going to come back to the center, taking my hands back onto my belly region and focusing 3 more times on that 3-dimensional breathing. That when I inhale, my whole body inflates, and as I exhale, my whole body deflates. One more. Bringing my hands back to the floor, I'll straighten one leg to the floor, gently rolling off that way, exiting the foam roller, returning onto my back. Now ideally the floor welcomes you right back with a bit of a hammock feeling, and when you split your body down the middle, revisiting your assessments, ideally you feel more even between the left and right side. Ideally, the middle of your back is heavier and you're not feeling weight as much behind the chest or in the shoulder blades. And then ideally there's a change with the low back. In my particular case, I had a good size arch, but it was starting above the navel, and now I've got it below the navel again. So from here, we're going to bend our knees, and we're going to go ahead and take the roller behind the back of our legs. Press into your feet as you lift the hips up and rest your hips directly on top of the roller. Avoid putting it in that low back crease. You want your pelvis supported so the low back doesn't have to do anything here. From here, bring one knee into the chest, keep that knee there, and lift the other leg up. The roller will move just a little bit, but ideally, again, it's still supporting the pelvis and not the low back. Hands can come onto your belly, the roller, or the floor, whichever you prefer. And we're just going to sway the legs right and left, massaging the back of the pelvis here. Now, if you have one of the foam rollers I'm recommending, it is a vibration foam roller. And this is an excellent one to turn the vibrations on here and allow the vibrations to add a nice massaging effect to the back of the pelvis here. We're going to keep our legs over to the right, no more than 45 degrees. The knees can be together or slightly apart. And just create little circles as if your knees are drawing them. Now the other direction. And this should be nothing short of a massage into the back of this deep hip here. We're going to hold still. Take another full breath into the torso. Return the legs to the center. And then lean the legs over to the left side, no more than approximately 45 degrees, and small circles here. So notice how my upper body, my arms stay relaxed. This is a very gentle movement where I am allowing the weight of my body to rest on the roller and just doing some gentle massaging through compression work here. You can take your knees to the other direction, circling rather than the other side. So if you haven't switched directions with your circles yet, please do so. And you can pick more than one area. So I can come in a little bit and start to massage this spot. We're going to hold still here. Before exiting on this side, breathe. Coming back to the center. Wonderful. From here, I'm going to lower both legs down one at a time. I'm going to lift the hips up and take them off. Now for my last one here, just turn your head side to side and see if your neck is holding any tension. And we're just going to do a quick neck release by rolling on to our left side and taking the roller right where the neck meets the skull behind the earlobe, okay? So you're on the bone rather than the neck. And if you were wearing earrings, you might want to take them off for this because it can get in the way. Placing the roller here, let your head rest on top. You might want a pillow for in between your knees, making sure you're not pinching, smashing the shoulder, but that arm is just resting, reaching slightly forward here. I'm going to go ahead and begin small circles as if my nose is writing on a chalkboard. This really prevents the neck from creating the circles. So again, it's like my nose is reaching forward onto a chalkboard, and I'm just creating some small circles here. We're going to do about 6 in each direction, and these can certainly be different size circles. Just a little massage at the base of the skull here. And then we're going to hold still and breathe. Now we're going to come gently to the face, just in front of the earlobe, all right? So right where the jaw starts to meet the cheekbone, and rest your head there for a moment. Now again, creating those small circles, or if you prefer, like I do here, just some gentle head nods. A light, small movement. And again, rest the head heavy, holding it still. Keeping your head still, just open and close your mouth 4 times. And relax the jaw, relax the head, and just breathe. Returning to that first spot that we started with behind the earlobe, but still on the skull, go ahead and do 4 to 6 circles in each direction, still using your nose as if you're writing the circles on a chalkboard with the nose. You'll hold still and breathe. And before doing the other side, push the roller out of the way, come onto your back, and turn your head again to see if we have any change. I've got a lot of warmth along the left side and a lot more range of motion than I did to start with. All right, we'll do the other side. You can either roll over. I'm going to go ahead and just switch what direction my head is facing so that you can still see me. And I'm placing just behind the earlobe on the base of the skull, directly on top of the roller. If you're on an angle, you might feel the roller sliding out from underneath you. Best to close your eyes and begin those small circles. So vision takes about 80% of our neurological input. And simply by closing your eyes, there's less input coming in, and your body can relax a lot more. Making sure you do 4 to 6 in each direction. Sometimes I do a little bit more at the beginning. maybe 2 sets, and then holding the head completely still and just breathing. Going from behind the earlobe to in front of the earlobe and just resting right where just below the cheekbone meets the jaw. I let gravity take over my head, and I begin some gentle head nods or some circles, whichever you prefer. Holding the roller and the head still now, just open and close the mouth 4 times. After 4, holding the head still, taking a deep breath, and letting the head just melt into the roller with gravity taking over. Returning the roller to the spot behind your earlobe and small circles. It does not have to be the same exact spot that you started. In fact, I encourage that it's in a slightly different spot. 4 to 6 circles in each direction. Then head and roller remain still and you breathe. All right, getting rid of that roller, coming onto your back. You'll gently turn your head side to side, and ideally it's just easier, more range of motion. And as you come to the center, do a final check-in with the body, taking 3 focused breaths. And you can remain here and meditate, or if you're ready to get up, begin wiggling the fingers and toes, rolling out the wrist and ankles. We'll bend the knees, dropping the knees to one side and gently sitting up. That takes care of the little self-care techniques using a foam roller today. Remember, if you need a recommendation, just check the description. And that is all. I like to bring our hands together and finish with a namaste. Namaste, everyone. Have a wonderful day.